A1, A2, B1, B2, C1, and C2. These are the common levels that we use, labels that we use in order to define the language skills of a learner. For me, actually, there are mainly two levels or two phases or two areas of language learning. That of the language learner and that of the language user. What's the difference between these two? Well, a language learner is someone who sits down and hits the books in order to get a solid foundation in a language. When you're in this phase, you're still not able to understand the spoken language, so your listening comprehension is poor, and you have to rely on scripts, transcriptions, subtitles if you're watching videos. So that is the phase where you have to learn the language as an adult. And that is a phase where you need discipline. You need to sit down and you have to make it happen every day. Otherwise, you don't build the so-called language core, and that language core shrinks with time. In this phase, what you need is discipline. Discipline is key to make it happen every day. You cannot rely on motivation, because if you rely on motivation, what is going to happen is that maybe you're going to hit the books for a week or a month, but then inevitably life gets in the way, your motivation wanes and tapers off, and then one day you just stop learning and that's it. But then you have the language user phase. So let's suppose that you've been learning a language for 1 year or maybe 2 years, and you've reached fluency. You've reached that stage where you can actually use the language with people. That is the language user phase. And in that phase, what you need is courage. Not discipline anymore, but courage. Let me tell you a story. 3 months ago, I was in Greece, and that was the very first time that I was in Greece speaking Greek. Now, I've been learning Greek for 5 long years, and I've been listening to podcasts and watching videos every single day. So I believe that my listening comprehension is good, and my speaking skills are relatively decent, because I've been working with a couple of tutors. But the thing is that when I tried to order something at a restaurant, or when I was having even a short conversation with someone, a waiter, or anything else, I felt a little bit of anxiety. I don't know if you've ever felt this kind of anxiety, but it's that moment when you're experiencing something that is old and new at the same time. It's old because you've already ordered something at the restaurant in your native language or some other language. You've already talked to some people, you already interacted in the same way in certain situations and circumstances, but you've never done it in this new language. In my case, that was Greek. I had never interacted with people in Greek. And the highlight of my journey in Greece was when I had to record a video with the legendary Dimitri from Easy Greek. I was terrorized and paralyzed because I knew that hundreds of people, or maybe thousands of people, would watch that video. And at that moment, I told myself, you know what? Let's jump in. Maybe I'm going to make mistakes. Maybe some word will not come. That happened, by the way, but I just wanted to communicate. And I think that the biggest point here was that I just made it happen. I just ordered something at the restaurant. I talked to people in Greek. I made a video with legendary Dimitri, and I feel stronger. So what you need is courage as a language user. Once you accumulated enough knowledge to use the language, what you have to do is use it, interact with people, connect with people, make mistakes. Sometimes you will find yourself in awkward situations, but that is worth it. Every single experience is worth it. I like thinking that fluency is a measure of confidence that you have. And you don't measure fluency not just in terms of words or phrases that you know, not just in how good your pronunciation, your grammar is, but also in the amount of experiences that you live. And the more experiences you live, the more awkward situations and elating situations you're going to find yourself in. So just to sum up, if you're a language learner, if you're a beginner or a high beginner, what is important is discipline in order to hit the books, in order to learn every day, in order to build that discipline that you need in order to reach fluency. And once you've reached fluency, let's say B2, once you're able to use the language, use it as much as you can. Find yourself in as many situations as possible. Face the unknown, face your fears, because when you do that, when you live these situations, your confidence will grow step by step. And then you'll find yourself wanting to use this language more and more, and that language will become part of your life. Thank you so much, and as always, happy language learning.